Indonesia. You ever been there?
No. Although,
No, me
as
neither.
of this month, I now have a passport again. It's been a couple years
Oh, I didn't know that.
where my passport expired and I've been landlocked, as it were, to the miserable island of Great Britain. But now I can travel. So I can go to Indonesia tomorrow if money allowed.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to go there, do you want to go there armed with some facts about the country?
Of course.
Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world. It is made up of more than 18,000 islands.
Jesus.
I know.
There's a lot of islands.
It is. And it's the fourth largest country in the world with a population of over 250 million people.
I didn't know that either.
Me neither. Indonesia is home to the largest gold mine in the world, the largest volcanic lake in the world, and the largest flower in the world only grows on the island of Sumatra in Indonesia. The Rafflesia, I think it's called, can weigh up to 7
Very
kilos,
nice.
which is the equivalent of 50,000 daisies. So that's something. Speaking of flowers, the most odorous flower in the world also grows in Indonesia, which can grow upwards of 2 meters, and it releases a smell comparable to rotten meat that can be smelt for up to half a mile away.
Christ. Just an island of rotting meat.
It's, not fun. And also, of course, it can only be known as gamelan music if it is modal-based compositions played on metallophones in the country of Indonesia. Otherwise, it should technically be known as sparkling bonging gongs.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Games, Chris. What games of Indonesia? Tell us.
Well. After visiting France last month and being borderline assaulted by the sheer volume of games produced and developed in that country, it has been quite nice to have a slightly softer research task this month, but I always give it my all. Indonesia might not be a big player in the game industry, although from poking about, it seems like there's more activity here than in some of the other kind of developing markets that we've covered thus far. So I've grouped my research into kind of 2 pools. Smaller teams making primarily mobile games, and then mid-size and above teams now making kind of bigger waves in the indie space, because that seems to be kind of where most activity is. Mobile gaming is where it's at for many studios. This is often the case in kind of less established tech markets because the cost of entry, the cost of development is just that much lower than trying to kind of secure publishing for major consoles. Night Spade are a small team working out of Jakarta. They produced a mobile title named Nuclear Outrun, which from reviews seemed like it did okay a number of years back. Red Rain Games are another studio focusing mainly on mobile who have had minor hits with the Dictionary series, a weird portmanteau of dish and dictionary, if my pronunciation wasn't clear enough. These appear to be free-to-play soft RPGs with crafting, survival, cooking, combat, that sort of thing. Dragon Game Studio, again working on mobile platforms, pumped out a strange word game that may or may not have even been released in international markets, given its very Indonesian-centric theming, called Barleyfied. You know, something to check out if you're able to access kind of foreign markets on your iPhone. Moving over to a few better-known titles, the studio Argot created the role-playing and management sim hybrid Valkyrian Arc Hero School Story, which is available on all current platforms and Steam. I think it's probably in my Switch collection, but I doubt I've even unwrapped it, but it is there. Stairway Games worked with Humble Games of Humble Bundle fame semi-recently to produce the Stardew Valley-inspired Coral Island, which reviewed quite well on launch and again is accessible across all major platforms. A company called Digital Happiness created and published the survival horror games Dread Out and its sequel, which I've definitely not played, but I definitely do own on Steam via some games bundle I picked up at some point in the last decade. Is that kind of lower tier sort of horror title that is often in a 10 for a quid sort of bundle. And the indie titles, or indie RPG titles, I should say, Potion Permit, Hitaria Fables, Legrand Legacy, and Fallen Legion are all made in Indonesia by a range of software houses. You've got Mass Hive Media, Twin Hearts, Semisoft, and Mintsphere, respectively.
Semisoft,
not semi-hard. It's a glass, half-empty kind of thing. Finally, one of the biggest players in the Indonesian games industry is called Toge Productions. They've either directly produced or published a number of games from the country. The visual novel Coffee Talk and its sequel, the tactile puzzle game that I think you played at some point called When the Past Was Around.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely game.
The Infectinator series for mobile, the platformer Magicat, and the slice of life adventure game A Space for the Unbound were all from Toge. As a little addendum, bizarrely, a number of the games covered here have been published by UK team PQ. And we're talking Valtherian Art, Potion Permit, Atari Fables, Coffee Talk, Space for the Unbound, and maybe more as well. Now, I don't fully understand how this relationship came about or developed, but I do remember there being a bit of a hoo-ha a few years ago between Toge and PQ when it was alleged that PQ were misappropriating or withholding money that had been procured via like a diversity fund, essentially. Now, without any knowledge whatsoever of the details, I can't speculate very far, but it certainly suggests that the UK publisher may have seen financial incentive in working with foreign teams, maybe getting additional funding or tax breaks or whatever. I don't know. But, the games themselves, we can talk about financials. Who cares?